here and make a move. Oh.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Peter here, back again with another track breakdown. So recently I released a new track called Caught Up. I don't really know. So I've been getting a lot of questions about this track. I'm not supposed to give my opinion, but I like this track and I really enjoy the sound and I really enjoy the vibe, and it's pretty good in my opinion, but I'm not supposed to give my opinion, so just ignore that. So I did a poll on Instagram asking you if you want a tutorial on this track, and you're like, yeah, please do a tutorial. And a couple of people are like, no, please don't do a tutorial. Sorry, I'm just doing a tutorial. If you want to take a listen to this track, it's on SoundCloud right now, but it will be in like streaming platforms in a couple of days. I'm gonna just drop links in the description, and let's dive into the breakdown. Let's take a listen first of all.
Secret intentions, you read across the room. Give me attention, I'll show you what to do. Part of me thinks you look better on me than the girl who's been touching on you. If you take my advice, you'll come over tonight and we'll leave before she has a clue.
Yeah, okay, so then it repeats and there's also a bridge. I did something called bridge on my song. Oh my god. This is so professional then. When you have a bridge in your song, it's like 100% professional. And then it goes into this thing.
Secret.
Okay, so let's start with the intro, right? And then we'll just go into other sections, just as always. So we are gonna start with the vocal. I started this track using this vocal. Shout out to Evergreen, or Dear Evergreen, for providing these vocals. I don't know how is it right now, but months ago when I got these vocals, they were like on her Patreon. I don't know if this is still up and running. The vocals kind of suck, you know?
Secret.
Because originally they sound like this.
Secret intention.
Which is cool, but I pitched them up 6 semitones. And I kept formants, but you know, like if you pitch something really high, it's gonna lose some quality or it's gonna sound really weird. Like in this case, it's pretty weird, but it's okay. It's not a big deal for a vocal to sound like this.
Secret intentions.
So I started with the vocal, and a couple of days ago I released the pack with Ableton effect racks, and that consists of vocal master also. If you bought the pack, I hope you enjoy these racks.
Secret intention.
Yeah, there's this resonance.
Secret.
Here I just took it off a little bit, and then some vocal master for like some presence, some glue compression, and some saturation and a reverb and delay, and then some mid-side EQing because I guess it had some
secret intention
side signal that I didn't want. And then we have this backing vocal. Sounds like this. I put a micro shift on this, like a chorus effect, and then we have this vocal master again. And then we have this one octave down. So usually, like originally sounds like this. Then we pitch this down and we get this really nice deep layer. I also use the 77 formants on 77, and that gives you this sort of like a, not like a vocal, but more like a natural one. And also some effects, pass effect, to make it wide, some effect racks as well. Oh, as you can see, this is really important. I have a lot of sections in the song named and organized. Everything is chopped up into sections, and I was using Flume's track to just take a look at what he did and just basically copy the arrangement structure. Yeah, so we have this thing. Which is basically some key preset. And then it's being compressed, there's some OTT on this, and there's an anti-matte compressor. And then we have this pad in the background, adding some space and making the whole thing fuller.
What to do? Part of me thinks you look better on me.
We have these voice drops, just like a Porter Robinson sounds. Also, it's being layered with these strings. That's a Strings Ensemble Essentials for Contact. It's a really cool library. And then we have these percussion noises and clicks and clocks, box. A transition, like a white noise transition, and then there's not much more elements. That's basically it.
There's a clue on.
Yeah, so before the drop hits, there's this reversed kick, which basically, if you put before the drop, in most cases it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. When you have tom roll, maybe it may not work. But if you put this before the drop, it makes the drop, the first initial hit, it makes it hit harder. So the drop, finally, kick and snare. Yeah, these ones are all from D-Cup. Shout out to D-Cup. So that's it, and then let's proceed to this group. Yeah, that's, to be honest, pretty simple arrangement. There's not much layers here. Okay, so the first sound is... Oh yeah, we have these strings, some OTT. Don't forget about OTT, it's really important. That's a brass sound and brass ensemble, really cool library as well. It's a bit of the post-processing here. Some OTT, some decapitator to make it beefy, and some mid-side EQing. Oh yeah, this one is interesting sound. There are some automations, and that's cool. So that's this sound. Like a saw, super saws chords, and the chords are not even that complex. There's basically 2 notes per chord. If we take a closer look, I've been doing some thirds. So you take a root note, and then you take a third, and then you just transpose it 2 octaves in this case. And then we have some. Let's turn off this duck. We have some EQ, not just boosting some highs, not really useful, because then we are just filtering some high end, and we are just doing these filter sweeps, opening and closing, to make a like wow 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 type of movement. So this automation is responsible for the filter movement. You can really see how the filter moves. It basically repeats every, how much is it? Every 2 bars. At the end of this thing, we have some like some tremolo. I used a duck for it, and the amount automation. That's a volume automation. You can do the same thing with like a LFO tool, or you can do the same thing with AutoPan. You can do this even manually. And the next sound is a chord preset Future Classic from the 2nd volume for the ultimate future bass Serum preset pack. Not saying I'm not supposed to give my opinion, but that's a cool preset. It is being compressed a little bit, as you can see, and just a tiny bit of EQ. The next sound, there's a person Nay preset from Contact Factory Library. Pitch bend automation. So like, I'm gonna turn off the pitch automation so we can see what this sounds like without. Much more movement and the sound is much more interesting. Okay, so the next sound is gonna be an 808. And that's all layers. Let's just start turning them on and let's see what they sound like together. And then when the second part of the drop hits, we have some hi-hats, some percussion stuff. Then we have some riser for the better transition, and then there's impact clap. Also in the second part of the drop, we have this thing, this vocal, which sounds like that. I have some vocals in on it, which is making it really crunchy and distorted and beefy and spicy. And then some pitch monster to make it wide, and that is it. Then we are going into the V2 section, which is the verse number 2. Basically, there's the same thing that is in the intro. Here we have some keys because we are introducing the song, and here we have some super saws. It's like a breakdown, and we want to keep some energy, so we want like a more energetic sound instead of just keys. Pad as well. And we have a Rezz bass underneath. And we have drums as well.
My heart is...
And obviously we have some vocals in the second verse. Then we are going to the build up, and then we're gonna be dropping that song.
Look better on me than the girl who's been touching on you.
And this section is the same section as here. So that's the same thing as I did here. Yeah, at the end of the section,
Just make a move.
there's this vocal.
Just make a move.
And then we are going to the bridge. Really simple filter-based plucky bass. So the main sound is this. And the chord progression is like going down, and then just the last chord is up to make it transition to the second part. So we are adding some effects, basically form and shifting, which is a little alter boy, and then some OTT. Don't forget about OTT. Some crystallizer. This one is really cool delay. This is a Granular echo synthesizer, like a delay plugin. It's really cool. Some ultimate space, which is a reverb and delay. And then some even more reverb and delay. And some particular. Like a chorus, not doing too much. And this arpeggiator creates this melody. So the next sound is Analog Lab. I don't know if it's gonna load because Analog Lab has some problems recently. It's like really hot. As you can see, it's really hot. So I'm not really able to use it, but the sounds are still loading, so that's not a big of a deal. I'm not really sure what preset is this. Sounds like Fascination, and then I used RC20. It's for some wobble, some additional spiciness, and that's it. Then in the next section we have this sound, which is kind of weird. I think it's a preset that is being split into two instruments, so they're like multi-instruments, and because there's like bass sound and then a piano.
Secret intention.
So that's basically the verse 2, but without the drums. Then we have impact and the riser here, because this build-up is a little bit different. It's yeah. The third drop is basically the same thing as the second one, and the second, it's like a drop extension because I wanted to make this track like a longer. In Flume's track there's actually there's like a drop and like a drop extension, so I wanted to do the same thing. Then we have this vocal and the track ends like that. So that's the track. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. I hope it gave you some better understanding on how to structure songs. Yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If you want to check out the track, and the links are in the description. Again, see you in the next one and have a nice day. So that's it. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, you can slide on that subscribe button. Also, you can visit my site oversampled.us for some high quality samples, presets and free sounds.